Hello everyone. I hope you have been doing well. I'm sorry could not do the live yesterday. Had some other prior commitments. Well, today uh, I'm going to talk about reconciliation and forgiveness and unforgiveness through the message of reconciliation. Now, before we start into the entire thing of reconciliation, I want to talk about what is reconciliation. The meaning of reconciliation is very simple. The meaning of reconciliation is to restore friendship. That is what the dictionary meaning of reconciliation is. And in other terms, reconciliation means that one person reconciles or reestablishes a relationship with another person. Now, when I talk about reconciliation in terms of healing and in terms of trauma that we have received, and why this is important is because of very simple facts. When we have talked about forgiveness, we have talked about various other issues. And without reconciliation, it is incomplete. It is incomplete and the entire process is not over. A reconciliation has various aspects, has various levels of reconciliation. The first being that we need to reconcile between ourselves and the person that we have committed some kind of disadvantage to. Now, I talked about sowing and reaping. If you have sowed something that is bad or wrong, and you are in a place where you feel that you are having a particular kind of trauma in a repeated pattern, it means that you need to work upon removing the effects of what you have sown. Or it might be that your parents have sown something, or it might be that your grandparents have sown something, and you are reaping the effect of what has been sown in their life or in your life in the past. You have gone ahead and you have taken care of forgiving yourself. You have taken care of getting in terms with a lot of things, but you have not reconciled. What does that mean? The first aspect of reconciliation is reconciling with yourself. Now, let's say you had done something wrong to a friend, and the effect of it has slowly started coming into your life, and you see the same kind of ill that you did to your friend also happening to you, and that is causing pain to you. That is causing emotional trauma to you. Let me talk about love. One of the biggest reasons for depression and anxiety is a breaking of relationships. Now, if you have broken a relationship in your past, you have broken the heart of somebody. And because of that, you have a pattern of broken relationships in your life. And today you are wondering, why do I have a pattern of broken relationships in my life? You broke the heart of one person. The effect is you are going to bear the consequences. You are going to have consequences where you will also have effect of broken relationships. You can call it karma, you can call it judgment, whatever you want to call it, but it is going to affect you. How do you do? The first thing is you reconcile with the person that you broke your relationship with. Now, reconciliation is not easy. Reconciliation has to be intentional. It has to be a point where you actually intend to seek forgiveness. The second step is that it is going to make you humble. And as you become humble, you start receiving, your heart becomes moist enough for the seed of blessings to grow in your life, for the seed of depression to go out. Now, if you have a very hard soil and you start digging, it becomes difficult to dig. Put a little water and start digging. It starts getting easier to dig. Even if you take a piece of earth and try and break it and remove stones from it, it will be very difficult. But you make it into mud and try and do it again. You can do it very easily. So when you reconcile, your heart becomes moist because it is vulnerable. It has become humble. And as it has become humble and vulnerable, you can remove the small pieces of stones that are there in your life. And as you reconcile, you start receiving blessing and healing into your own heart. And the effect of the pattern of broken relationships, the pattern of abuse breaks because you have now reconciled. You have made your heart contrite and you have sought restoration. And with that, you will be able to receive the blessing. Now, this is with the person that you had the problem with. The second aspect of reconciliation is you need to reconcile with your past. You need to reconcile with the past that this is something that has happened and is there in my past, and it will not change. You cannot change your past. You need to reconcile with that. I am not telling you to move on. What I am saying is you reconcile to it, that this is a past, this is a part of my life, which is going to stay, it is going to pain. But I am not letting this pain hamper me anymore. And in the end, I told you something about putting it in a box and putting it away. The Bible talks about taking all these problems and issues that you have, that we have talked about in forgiveness, we have talked about in restoration, we have talked about throughout these 2 weeks that we have talked about. The Bible talks about reconciliation, and it says, you take this trauma, this pain, this abuse, this broken relationship, put it in a box and give it to Christ. And as you do that, what will happen is He will take it from you and give you a new seed. Throughout this series, I have been talking about soil, and that soil is your heart. If you want your heart to change, you need to remove all the little pebbles that are there, water it with humility, water it with humbleness. Look at your life with an eye of humility, and not with an eye of egoistic viewpoint, not with an eye viewpoint of me, but with a viewpoint of helping others. Love is not enough if you love yourself. When you love yourself, you will love others, because that is what is going to cure your heart. If you want your heart to be cured, you need to let go of all these issues, put it in a box, reconcile with the fact that these were there in your past and now you don't want it anymore. Put it into a box, give it to Christ, take a new seed. Your life will change. When I talk about all these things, you will need to look back into your life. You would need to look back into various aspects of your life. If you need help to get rid of depression, of anxiety, of any kind of mental health, please do not go through this alone. Help is available. Message me, and I'll get in touch with you. And we can walk a journey and get this taken care of. Well, tomorrow is Friday, and tomorrow we will have yet another guest coming up. And this is an amazing man, a man who's had so much pain in his past that you won't be able to imagine about it. I would call him up tomorrow, and we would have an interview tomorrow. And yet again, you will see how an amazing man could change his life and become a new man, out of depression, out of anxiety, and living as a wonderful man today. Have a good evening and a good morning for all my friends. Bye-bye.